What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news. Capital increase from Exor hits Juventus this week. We'll look at the details, all right? We could have a couple of young guys that are on the move. One that's currently with Juventus, one that's out on loan, and a new target emerging from these rumors around Juventus. We'll look at that. The midfield situation at Juventus, and then Chiesa's future gets put on the shelf until season's end. All that and much, much more. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first. Capital increase coming in from Exor hits this week, 196 million euro capital increase. It is reported, however, that 127 million euros of it is going to be served for debts for players purchased over the past couple of years. So normally we would look at this and think, fantastic, we're at 49 million euros that we could put towards a player and bring somebody in, but not so much the case, all right, because we're using it to pay off debts for player purchases and whatnot. We still have other debts lingering around, and Juve has until next season to meet terms for financial fair play, all right? So they are going to want to come out of this summer in a positive, all right? So it's not going to quite work out how many of us want it to, all right? There's still very much cleanup involved, and there's still potential for some big sales from Juventus this summer. We just have to hurry up and wait to see what Giuntoli is going to do come summer. Now, as far as some of these moves that could be happening, Felipe Anderson still strongly linked to Juventus. It is being reported he said no to Saudi Arabia, all right? And he has Juve's offer in hand with a deal to 2027 for a salary somewhere around 3.3 to 4 million euros. And he is waiting for Lazio to act on it. So he has Juve's offer in hand and is still waiting to see what Lazio will do. As far as some other potential moves that could be happening, Kaio Jorge hits the rumor mill in terms of maybe, just maybe, not getting a contract extension from Juventus and being moved to Sporting, who has interest in the player. And Juve has apparently been reported to closely been observing Ousmane Diomande, all right, the 20-year-old right-footed center back of Sporting, who's valued at 40 million euros. So all of a sudden, Kaio Jorge could be used in bringing in this center back, all right? So interesting one there. As far as Kaio Jorge goes, this is the first time we've heard of him being used in a move to bring in another player. The majority of the reports leading up to this said Juventus was going to extend him and most likely send him out on another loan. That potential possibility is still there. My question to you, do you sell Kaio Jorge or do you send him out on another loan? For me, I'd be fine with selling Kaio Jorge, all right? Now, in terms of the midfield, we're hearing Fagioli, Locatelli are the only two locks going into next season. It would take a sensational offer for both of these players to see Juventus move them, all right? But in the midfield, McKennie is going to most likely be offered a contract extension with a salary of 2.5 to 3 million euros and taking it to 2027. I actually don't have any problems with that, and even at those numbers, you could probably still work a decent sale for the player, all right? Now, Miretti is the one that could go either way. He could potentially be on loan, but he is also being looked at being worked in a potential move for another midfielder. It is mostly with Atalanta and Koop Mainers, but it still hasn't been reported if Atalanta is in fact interested in Miretti. So his future very much up in the air. Now, as far as the fitness goes, McKennie, who we just spoke about, did partially train with the group. He's going to try to make that Atalanta game. De Sciglio has also partially trained with the group, all right? Danilo, all set for his return to Atalanta, and Milik will be starting in Vlahovic's absence due to suspension. As far as Vlahovic goes, rumors are Juventus is still working on trying to bring down and spread that salary out with an extension, all right? But Chiesa, his offensive counterpart there, his future, the extension talks apparently on a complete hold until season's end. All right. So again, still sitting back on this gentleman's agreement that he will not be leaving for free. And it's strange that rumors would persist with Dusan Vlahovic, all right, and us trying to work at spreading that out. but putting everything on hold with Chiesa. I'm not so sure that I'm buying into this one, but we did also hear yesterday that all contract extension talks were on hold until the spring. And actually, I probably would side with that, especially with the current run of form where we're at. Everybody's focus needs to be on getting the job done and finishing in top four. All right. So, again, it's going to be a bumpy ride from here on out to the end of the season. They got to turn it around, and it's not getting easier with Atalanta, then Genoa, and Lazio, all right? So we'll see what happens. It makes sense. Put all contract talks on hold. Get the job done. That's your news break to today. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the content, but hit me in the comments with everything you think on the news today, all right? And I'll be back tomorrow with another update. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juve, ciao tutti.